couple of injury updates. Darius Bell, he's been nursing a little bit of a quad strain, and it started to bother him a little bit today, so we held him. We didn't hold him, we pulled him out of practice. Cassius, very slight ankle sprain. He should be okay to go on Saturday right now. And then Jonathan, we were just real precautionary with Jonathan. He actually he probably could have pushed through practice, but it was just the prudent move was to not have him practice today. He's just got a knee bruise. He's been getting treatment like crazy and should be back out here on Saturday. Other than that, you kind of know about all the other guys. So.
Is there, the x-rays on Jerry show anything, or have they happened yet?
Jerry Rice?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. The x-rays on Jerry were negative for fracture. He's got a sprain and subluxation, his shoulder is his shoulder, his collarbone. He's going to be all right. No surgery, no break. So I think we dodged a bullet there. I was worried the way he came down that it might be more serious. I told you guys that, but it got word late that night that it wasn't. I mean, it's still serious, but it's not a fracture or break or anything like that. Yeah, so it's good news.
Ricky's on crutches.
Ricky's back. We've kind of talked about this all week. He's got a disc that's bothering him, and they're trying to take some stress off of it, and he's feeling better, but not good enough yet. You've got to be careful with backs. We need him. We need him to be healthy, and be at full speed. And so the right thing to do right now is just to be precautionary. So that's what we're doing.
Coach, when you're installing from ground zero a defense and an offense, do you have to kind of hold yourself back on pacing it and throwing too much at them? And how do you understand, okay, it's time now, we can move on?
That's a great question. Yes, you do. And, there's a learning curve for me at this level as well. These kids have so many demands placed on them, or demands that they accept. I don't know if placed on them is the right word, because school. I mean, they're student athletes, so they're students first. So, the demands of school. At the level that I used to coach at, there was no school. There was no study table. There was no tutoring. There weren't those other distractions. So, and I guess I shouldn't call them distractions because they're part of life. So, yeah, you have to measure yourself. You have to be judicious about what you install and when you install it. And as coaches, I think we all want to kind of be the next guru. The smartest guy to come up with the latest and the greatest. And sometimes, you do your players a real disservice if you do that. So, yeah, you've got to pace it, And right now, I would say for myself, it's a real learning experience. Unfortunately, I've got a lot of really good coaches that are able to help me.
With Manfro, what has he shown you through? I think 5 practices, and because of his size, does that lend to any more using him in a certain way, either in special terms or offense?
Well, goodness, I'll tell you what, he consistently makes plays out there. Every day he makes a really big play. He catches the ball well out of the backfield. He's short, but he's not small. He's powerfully built. He's got quickness, he's got speed, he's elusive, he can make the first man miss. He does a lot of good things, and we'll find ways to get him the ball, multiple ways. Whether it's handing the ball off to him or throwing it to him on a swing pass or, getting him out into the route, up the field. We'll do all those things with him because he does catch the ball well, and when he has it in his hands, he makes things happen. He's been very impressive so far through 5 practices.
How's Marcus Rios look so far?
Every day he's gotten better, and I thought today was by far his best practice. I think he flashed today. He made some plays. He was the old deer in the headlights for a couple of days. And if you can imagine, he's supposed to be preparing for his senior prom, and he's out here competing with these grown men. And I think the first 2 or 3 days, it was a real adjustment for him. And today, I kind of started to feel it a little bit on Tuesday, but today I think he made a little breakthrough, which is great to see, and I hope he feels good about it. He deserves to.
How are the quarterbacks?
Boy, I'll tell you, I get that question every day, and it's hard. It's just hard for me to come off the field every day and tell you who's where. But I will say this: I think that they're all progressing. And I think that as we go, hopefully we'll start to see some separation. Whether that's one guy taking off or 3 guys taking off or 2. But I think that they've all progressed. And I'm talking about TJ and Mike as well. They look different now. They had the Marcus Rios syndrome going. All those guys did. You know, they're like I said, supposed to be in high school. You know, when I was doing this, or you guys, I mean, you know, you didn't come in early like that. So you can imagine. 2 weeks ago at 6 a.m., they were sitting in a team meeting, you know, and then that afternoon they were at class, and then they were back in meetings, and they're in their new. I mean, it was coming at them fast. So they're adjusting.
How has this been for you, though? I mean, coming back on the field like this, and obviously you were antsy when you first got hired to be out here, but how is it just being out here being a coach again?
I'm like those freshmen. I'm settling in a little bit, you know, slowing down a little for me. It's a lot of fun, I'll tell you that. I just really blessed to be able to have this opportunity, be around these kids and these coaches and this university, and it's fun, man. I know it's a good word. It's fun. It's exhilarating. It's fulfilling. It's all those cliche words I can throw out at you.
Your receivers, because of the injuries, it doesn't seem like there's a whole lot of depth, but they're still performing. Can you talk about what they've done this camp?
They, you know what? There's some guys showing up. You know, Devin shows up, and JJ, and I mean, I think it's a pretty good group. I like them. You know, I like them a lot. I think there's some real talent there. They take the coaching. They block downfield. They've got good size. You know, Shaq is a good player. I think it's going to be a good group. You know, one guy that has done a really nice job that we haven't even talked about is Darius Bell, who made the transition from quarterback to kind of a slot receiver, and he's really shown up. He's done a lot of good things, you know. Now, I got to temper all this. It's 5 practices, you know, 5 practices. So it's not, you know, I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but I like the way we're headed. So, okay. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it.